Welcome students. In this video, we will just continue with what we did in the previous video, like while loop. We just completed with while loop and now it is going to be about do while. Okay, it is going to be about do while. So we'll just take a different kind of code. Okay, we'll take the same code actually. We'll take the same code, but before this I will just explain you, like, you have int I equal to 0. While I less than 1000, you enter into body part, execute. Again, you come back to condition and repeatedly you do the same process. Now, let me introduce you to do while. First of all, there should be a keyword do followed by a open curly braces and close curly braces. It's a code block, do block. And after, at the end of the do block, you have to mention while followed by a parenthesis and a condition that you should specify. Okay, so let me specify the same. For example, let me specify the condition as I less than 5. I less than 5. And there should be a semicolon, which is very much important. This semicolon will imply the end of this particular do while block. And now inside this do block, inside this do block, I will just simply print system dot out dot print ln of, I'm going to print the value of just simply I, where I is not declared now, but that we will just declare it outside this do block. So outer we are going to just declare I equal to 0. Yeah, fine. Now here in the while, only speaking about while, condition is the first thing, then only body part. Coming here to do while, body part will be executed first, then only condition will be checked. While is condition checked, then body part execution. Here body part execution will happen first, and then after executing body part only, condition will be checked. So body part condition, body part condition, body part condition. After executing body part, condition checking, condition if it is evaluated to false, you come out. Here condition check body part, condition check body part, condition check evaluated to false, you come out. So both these different blocks require the help of body part as well as condition part, but the order of giving it is just different. In the normal while, first precedence is given to condition checking and next to the execution of body part. Coming to do while, execution of body part is given the first preference, and next only it is given to the while loop. Next only it is given to the condition. Right? So we will take the same code that we implemented in the previous video, except that let me remove. Except that what we will do is, let me remove this break. Let me remove this break. That's the only thing that I'm going to do. Okay, so let me remove break. Okay, fine. Let me also remove this if number greater than or equal to 10. That's it. Okay, so now instead of specifying the condition here, let me take it off and provide do. And let me provide the condition at the end of the while loop with a semicolon. Okay, now what we will do, the same thing, line by line process, we will do it now. Okay, so let me save it and let me just simply debug it. So what will happen when the execution getting started, automatically this main method will be invoked. Whenever a method getting invoked, a room will be created. So while statement class dot method inside that class, main method inside the class has been invoked. For that particular method, a room has been created here with the help of the thread. We'll speak about this thread later. Okay, so a room is created, activation record has been created. So now when I click on this variable section is inside the room. This is the name of the room, and this is whatever inside that room will be displayed here. Now only there is a variable called as args. It's a string variable. It is actually for the command line argument. So still we have not learned much about command line argument, so let us not use it now. So it is also taken as a variable inside main method. Now after executing third line, a variable will be created here inside the room, main method room, and it is assigned to 0 by default. Without any condition checking, without doing any condition checking, automatically it entered into do block. To sixth line it entered. So what is the first thing? Number is going to be incremented by 1. Then this changed number, we are checking whether it is less than or equal to 5. Condition true, I enter inside and I just print that it is a skipping number 1. Okay, I just print that it is skipping number 1. Check here, skipping number 1 gets printed. Now there is a continue statement. So if continue statement gets executed, all the other lines are skipped. All the other lines after that is skipped, and you move again back to while condition. You are not again moving back to the do loop. Sorry, you are not again moving back to the do block. Without executing while you are not moving, but what you are doing here is in do while is that all the other lines after continue is skipped and you reach to the condition part. So this 12th line will not be executed, so I directly enter into 13th line. What is in 13th line? A condition. What is a condition? Number less than 15. Yes, 1 is less than 15. So again what will happen? Again I will go back to first line of do block. Okay, again I'll go back to first line of do block. If I enter again inside number plus plus, so number will get incremented by 1. So number becomes 2. That number 2 is less than or equal to 5. So condition becomes true. So I enter inside. Whereas inside will be printing skipping number 2. So again you just watch here. Again skipping number 2 is getting printed. Again continue statement. It will skip 12th line and it will directly move to condition part. Number 2 less than 15, condition true, again to first line of do block. Enter, number incremented to 3, condition becomes true, 3 less than or equal to 5 becomes true. Enter inside, print skipping number 3. So skipping number 3 gets printed. Then again continue statement, again you will come back to here to the while statement. Yes, I reach to the condition part. 3 less than 15, 3 less than 15, condition true, again go back to do block. Enter inside, number is incremented from 3 to 4. Then 4 less than or equal to 5 is checked. 4 less than or equal to 5 gets checked and this condition is evaluated to true. So I enter inside skipping number, what is the value of number 4? So skipping number 4 will get printed. Then there is a continue statement. So where continue will take you again back to the condition checking place. So again now you will move to condition checking. 4 less than 15. So again you will move into do. So you increment your value of number to 5. 5 less than or equal to 5 is true. Enter inside. Again skipping number 5 will be printed. Continue statement will take you again to condition part. Again you will reach here. Again what will happen? 5 less than 15, condition evaluates to true. Again to the first line of do block. Enter. Number is incremented by 1, it becomes 6. 6 less than or equal to 5 is not a true condition. So come out of this if condition, you will reach 12th line now. Because continue is not executed now. So 12th line can be executed now. So what is going to print it here? Number equal to 6. So number equal to 6 gets printed. And again condition. 6 less than 15 is a true condition. Go back to first line. Increment number to 7. number 7 is not less than or equal to 5, come out, print number equal to 7. Again come back to condition 7 less than 15, true, go back, increment number, condition false, come out, print number equal to 8. Again condition checking, number less than 15, that is 8 less than 15, condition true, again first line, number incremented to 9, 9 less than or equal to 5, false condition, come out of if, execute 12th line, print number equal to 9. Again condition true, first line, number incremented to 10, condition false, come out, number equal to 10, printed. Again condition number less than 15, true, again number incremented, condition false, number equal to 11, then number 12 will printed, number 13 will get printed, number 14 will get printed. Now number 14 less than to 15, condition true, enter inside, increment my number, even though my number is 15, which is not suitable, which is not fitting the condition. That is what the advantage of do while. Even though if the condition becomes false, one time the body part will execute, then only it will finish off. So number less than or equal to 5, condition false, I will print number equal to 15, and now I will check number less than 15, condition is false, I will come out of while. 1 minute. "15" gets printed. After executing number less than 15, it is again coming back to first line, but it is not entering. But you can, okay, one thing that you should notice, when your condition becomes failed, it is not directly coming out, it is again going back and trying to start. There it is realizing that the condition has become false, again it is coming up. So the flow is like that. After a while, even though if it is false, it is coming to this do keyword, and then it is coming out of it. So now we are in 14th line. Okay, it is the close curly braces of main method. When close curly braces of main method is executed, then the room which we created for main method will get deleted, because all the lines of main methods are completely executed. That is the reason why you reached close curly braces of the method. So now what has to happen? You have to stop, and the activation record have to be, it will be deleted, room will be deleted, and finally you'll just have the output. What is the output that is getting printed? Skipping number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for continuous statements. Then again here for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 gets printed, and it is completely over. So this is the advantage of do while. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is that, let me get rid of this, let me get rid of all these things, and now let me introduce you with a problem, small problem statement, whereas we need to find all the even numbers between a particular range. All the even numbers have to be found between a particular range. First thing that I'm going to do is, we are going to write a separate method for finding whether a given number is a even number or not. So it is going to have public static, and return type is going to be boolean. I'm going to return either true or false. True means the number is going to be even number. False, it is not an even number. So the name of the function is even. Is even, and argument, we need to accept one argument, integer argument. So that argument is integer even number. So even is the name that I'm giving to the argument. Inside this method, I'm going to check if even mod 2 equal to 0. Even mod 2 equal to 0. If even mod 2 equal to 0, what it means? That the given number has been successfully divided by 2. If a number is equally divided by 2, then it is definitely even number, evenly divisible by 2. Evenly, it can be divided into 2 equal parts. So if a number is divided by 2 and if no reminder that it is giving up, then it is completely divisible and I can return true to say that it is a even number. If not, I can just simply return false. Okay, no need of going for else part, because if this condition is true, you will enter and return statement gets executed. If return statement gets executed, it is similar to break. It is similar to break in while loop or for loop. What will happen if break is executed? If break is executed, all the other lines after that will not be executed. Completely it will come out of loop. Similarly, if a return statement gets executed, all the upcoming lines will be ignored. It will be skipped and the flow will come out of this function. If this return true is not working, only you will come out of if condition and you will reach 11th line. If you're reaching 11th line, you can just like determine that it is definitely not an even number, so that I'm returning false. Okay, fine. Now coming here inside the main method, I'm going to find all the even numbers between a certain range. So let me take A is equal to 5, B is equal to 75. We want to find all the even numbers between A and B inclusive. Okay, and also declare one more variable for the loop also. Okay, one more variable for while loop. So let me initialize I is equal to A, because we want to start the process from A. After initializing the value of I to A, let us start a while statement specifying that what is that up to where we need to start. Actually, we need to be going up to equal to B, because it is inclusive. So starting from A, I should reach up to B. So that's the reason why I'm giving this condition I less than or equal to B. If this condition is evaluated to true, I enter inside this body part. If it is evaluated to true, I enter inside the body part and I'll be calling the function isEven. If this isEven function is actually returning isEven, and instead of argument we are going to pass I. If isEven function is returning true, then it is definitely a even number, so which we can print. So system.out.println of what we are going to do, we are going to print this I value because it is a even number. And after doing this, we need to, so after checking I, we need to go for the next I value, right? So I is going to be incremented. If I is not incremented, then this will be an infinite loop. Okay, remember that. So I initially starts with 5, then incremented to become 6, incremented to become 7, 8, 9, 10. So all the values between 5 and 75 will be checked and it will be verified whether it is an even number or not. If it is an even number, then that number is going to be printed. Very simple task. Okay, fine. So now after doing this, we will just try to execute this entire program and verify. Okay, I'll just tell you one more thing, that what I will tell you is I'll just start from this line number 1. We will again go for the debugging process where we can understand it line by line. Okay, so let us start the debugging process. So whenever main method gets invoked, a room getting created for that main method. Now what is the first line? Declaring 3 variables. So you see here 3 blocks. So see, still I is not assigned with any value. So if you are assigning a value, only memory block is getting created. That point you should you should note down here. If a variable is assigned with a value, then at that point of moment only a variable is assigned with, it is actually allocated with a memory block. So now A equal to 5, B equal to 75. Now after executing 4th line, I variable gets created and equal to 5. Now we will be checking whether I less than or equal to B. So 5 less than or equal to 75. Yes, condition is true. I will enter inside. And what is here? This is actually a function. This is one more function. So let me call that function. Let me get into that function. See here. Now when you call that function, when you call the method isEven, it is entering into this method. But what you're doing, you're calling, right? You're invoking it. When you invoke, what is happening? One more room is getting created for that isEven method when it is getting invoked. Now a room is getting created. That room is getting created on top of the existing room. That is the main reason why this is called a stack, because the rooms are going to be created one above the other. Okay, so first, whichever room is last room created will be on top. Last created room will be on top. That is the reason why it is called a stack memory. Last in, first out principle that it is following. Now let us execute this. Now in the new, see here, there are two rooms. If I click on main room, it is having different kinds of variable, different values. If I click on isEven, it is having different variable, different values. So both are different room. So now it is checking whether even mod 2. I think even mod 2 means we will be getting reminder 1. So this condition is not true. So I will come out and I will be returning false. Just check here. Condition is false. So come out. So return false. That return false will be, yes, it comes here. So it is like if of. See here, isEven is a function which you called and you received a value called as false. isEven is a function that you called and it has returned you with a boolean value that is false. So if of false is now here. So what is if of false? If of false means it will not enter inside. It will come out and you will be incrementing the value of I. You will be incrementing the value of I. So when value of I gets incremented, after incrementing, you will again reach first line. Now your I value becomes 6. 6 less than B. Yes, 6 less than 75. Condition true, enter inside. Again isEven function will be called for the 6. Again will go enter there. Suddenly you see here. See, when this completely gets executed and when you come out, that room is getting deleted. That I will show you now. What is the even value now? 6. 6 mod 2 equal to 0 is a true condition. I enter inside. Return true have to be executed. But once return true is executed, we have to go out of the method. When we are going out of the method, the room created for the method also will be deleted when you go out. You can just watch it now. Yes. See, only main method is here. There is no method for isEven. There is no method for isEven. There is no room for isEven. Okay. So now what is the value that we got written? True is the value that we got back. So if of true, condition gets true. So enter inside, print the value. So for all even numbers, this isEven will be returning true and you will be printing only the numbers which are even between the range of A and B. Right? That's it. Even the internal working process also we have discussed here in this video. Right? Fine. So we'll just meet again with a few problem sets related to looping, and then after finishing the problem set we will enter into object oriented programming. Thank you, students.